going to talk about plumbing, not only about energy use when we heat the water, but our actual water consumption. We'll talk about the fixtures you can choose, but also what's behind the fixtures.
What's behind the fixtures is the supply and the drainage system for all of the gray and brown water. So I think we really need to look at different types of products that we're going to use to deliver the gray and the brown water, and where we can save on cost as well as save on energy. I can hear somebody knocking at the door, so I think the cabinets are coming, so let's go let them in. Okay.
When you're choosing fixtures, one of the things you want to look at is water conservation. Things like faucets in the sink, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, shower heads, toilets, anything like that. As far as new construction, you can get low flow fixtures. You can look at the packaging or the information from the manufacturer, and I can tell you how much water they use. Often they're called water sense fixtures. That's a rating that you can rely on as far as water conservation. The other thing you want to remember is when you're using less water, you're also using less energy. Because the hot water you use, you have to spend the time and the energy to heat that. One of the things when you take a look at things such as washing machines and dishwashers is they can get things clean with a lot less water now. Things you want to take a look at is the energy guide, because that rates how much hot water it takes to get things clean and how much water it uses. Same thing with a washing machine. It also is something that will wring more water out of your clothes, and so it takes less energy to dry. When you're looking at fixtures, one of the things you want to pay attention to is water use. Now with new fixtures, you've got a lot of choices as far as attractive fixtures that have low water use. When you're looking at fixtures, you want to look at things such as water sense or the flow rate. Faucets, toilets, shower heads, all of those have those options for the low flow. Now, if you have existing fixtures, you can take a look at what the flow rate is on the aerator, or you can simply test it by taking a gallon and filling it up and seeing how long it takes to fill up. One of the things you want to do when you're taking a look at lowering your energy consumption for water heating is to take a look at the system as a whole. You want to look at how the hot water is produced, how it gets to where you use it, and then how you use it. One thing to take a look at is how much water you consume with activities such as clothes washing, bathing, showering. Here's a chart that shows you some of the average uses in a household. For this house, we used a gas water heater. A tank water heater holds the water in a certain temperature until you use it. There's other options we looked at, such as a tankless water heater, which heats the water as you use it, and there's an electric water heater. It would have the same tank as a gas water heater, it's just using electricity for the heat energy. A couple things you want to take in consideration is what kind of energy you have at the site you're working at. Do you have electric power? Do you have gas power? And what's the average utility cost? You also want to make sure that your water heater is efficient. That includes insulation and any kind of controls that could set back the time it starts and stops or how hot it heats the water. For this home, we used a natural gas tank water heater. There's a couple other options we considered. One of them is a tankless water heater, which can be gas or electric, which heats the water as you use it, rather than a tank, which keeps the water hot all the time. Also, for a tank water heater, you can have electric heat source. You really want to take a look at what's available on your site as far as natural gas, electricity, and what the utility costs are. When we looked at all the appliances in the home, we tried to get appliances that were rated with Energy Star. With water heaters, there also typically is an energy guide that will tell you how well that unit consumes electricity compared to other units within that same capacity. In working on the design for this home, one thing we wanted to pay attention to is to make sure the walls that had plumbing in them were stacked or basically very close to each other. If we can line up the water heater and all the fixtures such as the kitchen and the bathroom within close proximity, your hot water doesn't have to travel very far. In this particular home, we had the kitchen right across from the bathroom, and then the bathroom on the main floor was stacked with the bathroom in the basement. One of our missed opportunities had to do with the hot water supply lines that ran through the house. The system we used was a PEX system, which has the advantage of allowing us a run to each fixture. That shortens the runs, and so that saves water because the water doesn't have to go as far and it doesn't have the opportunity to cool down. But to help that, you really want to have insulation around the pipe. What happened is we didn't catch the installer before he ran the PEX pipe, and they were installed too close together to actually insulate the pipes. So best case scenario is to sit down with all of your contractors beforehand and discuss things like this. If the plumber had known that we needed additional space, we could have very easily insulated that pipe for very little cost and saved energy in the hot water system.
One unique feature we have on the West Des Moines home is that the lot that we chose to build on has a fairly shallow sanitary sewer system in the street. So when we set the house, we had to go a little bit lower than that sanitary sewer. So we had to install a sewage lift station. So everything that's downstairs, as far as a toilet, shower, laundry, all of that water and drain water will come to this system, be pumped out, and then go over into the sanitary sewer that comes through the wall. Right now you can see the supply water line coming in right next, and they have a temporary meter installed already so that during the construction phase that any water usage is metered. This is fairly common when we have shallow systems, especially in older subdivisions. If we would have went shallower with the foundation system, we may have been too far out of the ground, and the lot wouldn't have looked correct with the house sitting on it. It wouldn't have fit in with the neighborhood. So this is just one sacrifice we had to make.
Today we took a look at water conservation, how you can choose fixtures that use less water, water sense fixtures, how the homeowner can make sure that they are using water to not only save energy, but lower your water consumption. We took a look at water heaters, what choices there are, and how you design can save energy by making sure your plumbing is stacked so the water doesn't have to travel so far. Next up, we're going to take a look at alternative energy.